Yes, hello to all Spectrum students. Last two lectures I have gone through electrostatic. Again, next 2 or 3 sessions will be on ray optics. In ray optics, last time we have ended with refraction and total internal reflection. But if you remember, in all equations we have taken this kind of interface. Interface means the surface which is divided into medium. The interface was straight and we have gone through like this: light bend either towards the normal or away from the normal. But instead of that, today we'll have refraction through curved surfaces. First, purely NCRT concept, one theory, and then its application for NEET JEE point of view. First of all, what is refraction through curved surface? For that, consider a curved surface having a radius of curvature r. So you can clearly differentiate. Up to right now we have taken straight surface, but this is curved surface with radius of curvature r. This is center of curvature of the surface. So if I draw a line passing through center of curvature, naturally it will be normal to the surface. Now take a point like object O which is kept at distance u from pole of the surface. Light ray is inciding at certain angle theta 1. See, this surface is divided into medium. On this side, medium having refractive index mu1. On this side, medium having refractive index mu2. And condition what we are taking is mu2 is greater than mu1. So naturally light is passing from optically rarer medium to denser. So instead of going straight, it bent towards the normal. And somewhere over here, let's say we are having our image I. So this will be image distance V. This is radius of curvature R. Angle at which light is inciding is theta 1 and light refract at angle theta 2. From the axis, let's say light have incident at height h. Light have an incident at certain height h. This is small distance, let's say x. Further, this angle we are defining as alpha. Let's say here it is beta and here it is gamma. What we are having in ray diagram? A curved surface having radius of curvature r is dividing two different medium. On one side medium having refractive index mu1, on second side it is mu2. Point like object O kept at distance u creates image at distance I. Distance V, I is image position. Angle of incident theta 1, refraction is theta 2. Okay, just follow the geometry of figure. What we are having, if I am taking theta 1 as exterior angle, then can you say that alpha and beta are corresponding interior angle? Same way, if beta is exterior angle, then theta 2 and gamma will be interior angle. So naturally, theta 1 can I write down as alpha plus beta? Exterior angle is equal to sum of two opposite interior angle. Same way, theta 2 is equal to, first, beta equals to theta 2 plus gamma. That's why theta 2, will it be beta minus gamma? Okay. At the same time, if we apply Snell's law, what we are having? Mu1 sine theta 1 is equal to mu 2 sine theta 2. But if angle of incident theta 1 is very small, then naturally angle of refraction theta 2 will also be very small. And for smaller angles, sine theta can be replaced with theta. So what further we can write down this as mu 1 theta 1 is equal to mu 2 theta 2. But what is theta 1? Alpha plus beta, and theta 2 is equal to beta minus gamma. So mu 1 inside the bracket alpha plus beta is equal to mu 2 inside the bracket beta minus gamma. Now look, if you take this triangle, can you see that tan of alpha opposite, that is h by u plus x, but this x is very small, so I'll write down tan of alpha is approximately h by u. If I follow sign convention, minus u. How? All the distances opposite to the direction of incident will be negative. Tan alpha is equal to h by minus u. Again, triangle is completed at u plus x, but this is negligibly small, so we are taking tan alpha is equal to h by u. Similarly, for one condition, for alpha to be very small, what we can write down? Tan alpha is approximately alpha. Whatever assumption we have used over here, same I am repeating. For smaller angle, tan theta is theta, sin theta is theta. So alpha is approximately h by minus of u. Now I am writing directly the ratio. Similarly, beta will be approximately h by r. It should be r minus x, because r is up to here, but as we have discussed, this x is negligible. So what we can write down directly? Beta equals to h by r. Same way, gamma h by v. Again it is v minus x, but this is negligible. So gamma is equal to h by v. Now here this alpha, beta, gamma we can substitute over here in equation number 1. So what we are having? Mu 1 inside the bracket alpha. Alpha I can replace with h by minus u. Same way, beta I can replace with h by r is equal to mu 2. What we are having? Beta, that is h by r, minus gamma, which is h by v. Yes, h is common and cancel. So what left? Minus mu 1 by u plus mu 1 by r is equal to mu 2 by r minus mu 2 by v. Or further simplifying, minus mu 1 by u plus mu 2 by v is equal to mu 2 minus mu 1 by r. Yes, student, this was the fundamental theory for refraction through curved surface. It gives relation between u, that is object distance, v, that is image distance, r, radius of curvature. U, v and r. Now onward we will discuss application of this particular point, because this is purely NCERT textual content, but how to apply it for problem solving, now onward we will continue with that. Yes, take it. Yes. Again, consider a spherical refracting surface having radius of curvature r. We have already derived formula for relation between object distance, image distance as well as radius of curvature. What was that? Minus mu 1 by u plus mu2 by v is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r. And as we have already discussed, this u, v and r having conventional meaning: object distance, image distance, as well as radius of curvature. Now on special condition, from spherical surface of radius of curvature r, at which distance we should place the object so that we are getting image at the same distance. Like here object is at distance x and image is also at distance x. For that, what should be value of x? What I said, at which distance we should place the object. Let's say object is at distance x and image created is also at distance x. Okay. So u is equal to x as per sign convention minus x, because this is direction of incident ray, and v is equal to plus x. Object distance is x, but I have applied sign convention, so it is minus x. V is equal to plus x. Remember one important concept from your 10th sign convention of ray optics. In case of mirror, if image is real, you will get negative image distance. But in case of lenses or refraction, if image is real, image distance will be positive. Again, in case of reflection, mirror create image by reflection. Real image will have negative image distance. But in case of refraction, real image will have positive image distance. So here, the point is at which distance from a spherical curved surface of radius r we should place an object so that we are getting image at the same distance, real image at the same distance. So simply substituting value in this equation, what we are getting? Minus mu1 by x, as per sign convention it is minus x, plus mu2 by x is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r. So what we are having? 1 by x inside the bracket mu1 plus mu2 is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r. So what we get? X is equal to r inside the bracket mu1 plus mu2 upon mu2 minus mu1. Means when we are keeping object at distance x is equal to r inside the bracket mu1 plus mu2 upon mu2 minus mu1, we are getting real image of the object again at same distance x. This derivation, if you can remember, okay, it is quite simple, but prepare this concept properly. This is the distance of object to get real image at the same position. This is one application. Now second application is magnification, that we are going through. Yes. Now here we are having an object of height h, which is kept perpendicular to the principal axis of the curved surface. This is our curved surface of radius of curvature r. And image of height h dash is created over here. This light ray parallel to the principal axis refracting, and this light ray which is inciding at angle theta 1, it is getting refracted at angle theta 2. All the angle we have to make with respect to normal. This is normal over here. Principal axis is always normal to the surface. So what is lateral magnification produced by image in case of refraction through curved surface? So see this. Can you say that? First of all, here in this figure, image is at distance v and object is at distance u. On this side, medium having refractive index mu1. On this side, medium having refractive index mu2. So from this figure, can you say that tan theta 1 will be equal to h by u? If I follow sign convention, it will be minus u, opposite to the direction of incident ray. Same way in this triangle, tan theta 2 will be equal to h dash by v, but again sign convention below the principal axis, so negative. And what we used to have application for small angle, sin theta or tan theta you can replace with theta. So the tan theta 1 I can replace only with theta 1. So theta 1 is equal to h by minus u. Similarly, theta 2 is equal to minus h dash by v. At the same time, particularly for this ray, if I am applying Snell's law, what I am getting? Mu1 sin theta 1 is equal to mu2 sin theta 2. Again, for small angle, sin theta you can replace with theta. So this equation will reduce to mu1 theta 1 is equal to mu2 theta 2. So from this two equation as well as these two equation, here what we are getting, mu1 by mu2 is equal to theta 2 by theta 1. At the same time, if you take ratio of these two equations, theta 2 by theta 1 over here, for this one, theta 2 by theta 1, theta 2 by theta 1, minus minus cut out. So what we are having, h dash by v into u by h, but this you can replace with mu1 by mu2. So what we are having, mu1 by mu2 is equal to h dash by v into u by h. U by h. Now right from your 10th standard you are applying this concept. Ratio of height of image to height of object is your lateral magnification. So what we are having, lateral magnification h dash by h, h dash by h, will it be mu1 into v upon mu2 into u? H dash by h is mu1 into v, mu2 into u. This is lateral magnification in case of image created by refraction through curved surface. Now, after lateral, longitudinal magnification. Student, this word I am expecting from you people in our comment section. Why this is lateral magnification? And next point I am discussing why it is longitudinal magnification. This is lateral magnification. Same way we can have longitudinal magnification also. At the same time, for mirror or for lens, in case of mirror we have gone through. What is relation between lateral and longitudinal magnification? Why this word is specifically lateral? And next point I am discussing why specifically it is longitudinal. Either in WhatsApp group or in comment section I want response for this. Yes, we'll go.